Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today, I actually had a particular subject that I wanted to speak about. However, I changed that because of some of the comments that came from last video in the comparison between comparing Islam to the mafia. I understand this will make many Muslims very upset and some very angry. However, that is not the issue. You can be upset, you can be angry, but don't attack, personal attack. Don't make it personal. Speak about the subject. Talk to me about the subject. I get so many comments. Some people don't like the way I look. Some people, they don't like the way I speak. Some people think my English is funny, and so on and so forth. No, talk about the subject. What did I say wrong? This is the issue. If you divert the conversation because you don't like my face or how my face look or my English or what have you, you don't have an issue to speak of. You are trying to use what Muhammad used in the beginning anyway to silence me. You are not going to silence me. And even because I know many people crazy people may try to kill me. Even if you kill me, there will be other thousands of people on the internet and in many places that will speak. You are confronted now. Islam and Islamic ideology are in confrontation. Not actually, you are not. Islam is not in confrontation with people or with any other religion. Islam is in confrontation with time. Islam is from the 7th century and it did not evolve. And because of that, it is not in clash with Christianity or Judaism or Buddhism or Hinduism or even atheism. Islam is not for this time and age. Islam is staying in the 7th century. Okay, let's start. Maybe I hope I can make the video I was planning to make next week, next Sunday. Okay, the title of my subject today, why did I leave Islam, Muhammad and Quran? And I chose that because I want to respond to those people who make it personal and attack me personally, trying to silence me. Okay, those who don't like my face, this is my face, and if you want to listen to me, this is how I look. Get used to it. Okay? If you don't like me, if you don't like my English, if you don't like me, if you don't like the subject I speak about, if you think I'm ignorant, fine. Okay? Turn that YouTube, turn that video off, go to some other person and listen to. Okay? I'm not forcing you to watch my video. Okay? So let's be clear on that. Okay, why did I leave Islam, Muhammad, Quran, and his hadith and his way of life? First thing, I left Islam because of Quran. Many Muslims, unfortunately, they don't read the Quran as a history book, or rather they read the Quran, before they read it, they put a halo on the Quran itself, on Muhammad, on the life of Muhammad, and on the disciples of Muhammad, as if they are next to God, if not God himself. Okay? When you read something with that admiration to the person, many of the bad things will fly over your head without you noticing. So my suggestion to you, if you really want to learn, if you want to know why did I leave Islam, if you read the Quran without putting this halo on the book or Muhammad or his followers, you will see everything clearly. Okay, so Muhammad, he told men that they can hit their wives. Hit their wives. This is barbarism. And even you have some Muslim leaders now, they come up on YouTube and they say, this is a blessing for the wife to be beaten by her husband. And other people, they come, yes, he can beat her, but not on the face. And on the body, he shouldn't break bones. He should maybe punch her, but not to the point that he breaks a bone. And everyone is trying to go around to make it sound like, yeah, it is good. No, it's not. It is not good to hit anybody. Hitting, physical punishment, is humiliation, and it belongs to the 7th century, and it was wrong then, and it's still wrong now. Okay? It is very bad and very wrong. Now, that's one of the things that made me really leave Islam, hitting. And why Muhammad allowed the husband to hit the wife? Because she is half person. She is deficient in her head and in her faith. So therefore, the man, he is not deficient. I don't know, if you go to any mental hospital, there are many men who are crazy. Okay, anyway. But women are all deficient in their mind and heart and faith. That was Muhammad's look at the woman. And if my mother is deficient, how would she raise up a good family? The whole family. Women actually, they are the ones who raise the family because the father is working. The mother is the person who takes care of the children and raises them up. And if she is deficient, her sons will also be deficient. How does that go over the heads of the Muslims? But you have to justify. You put that halo and put Muhammad up and everything is fine. No, it is not. Okay? That's point number one. Number two, Quran. In the Quran, you can whip people in public if they do something wrong. You don't advise them, you don't teach them, and even the children, you just start hitting. This is Quran in the 7th century. In the 21st century, we, humanity, when I say we, humanity is trying to get rid of physical punishment. Even they are trying to abolish capital punishment. And if there is capital punishment, they try to make it as humane as possible. Like the injection, killing by injection, the person is not suffering. He or she will die in peace. They try as much as possible to avoid suffering and humiliation. However, here Muhammad is asking to make, not asking, commanding people to make those who go against his teaching or his will to suffer physically and suffer humiliation in public. Islam command killing not just killing, but before killing, cutting limbs, like the hand and the foot before the killing, and the killing we'll talk about it. But cutting, if we cut the left hand, then you cut the opposite of the leg. So if you cut the left hand, you cut the right foot first, and then crucify that person after you cut his limbs. Crucify him or her in public, and then spear him. Terrible way to die. That is part of the religion. Imagine this in one of your public square. People have to watch. They are made to watch. You get a person who, let's say, whatever crime he or she committed, you chop his hand off, the foot of the opposite side, hang him on a cross, and spear him. This barbarism does not belong to this age or even previous age. It's barbarism. Okay? Islam, or in the Quran, it is the only book that commands people to have women as commodity. What do you call that? Slave women, and you can do whatever you want with them, and you can have 10, 20, 50, 100,000, depends on your how wealthy you are, and you can do it. You can have sex with them, you can hang them upside down, do whatever you want. They are slaves, they have no rights, they are not human. The Quran is the only book, it's the only book that command the followers to fight all other religion until they either submit to Islam or made to submit or pay heavy taxes, they call it jizya, tribute, or killed or be killed. These are the three options you have. Either submit by force to Islam, pay jizya, or get killed. That's in Quran. And yet people read that and they don't see it. Quran, Muhammad in the Quran allowed rape of the captive women. Regardless, even if he was really, as many people think, that this man was from God, this is a red flag, should come up and say, it's impossible that a man of God will command his people to do this, command such barbaric behavior, to merely, I know in the past, some countries, some forces, when they clash, to humiliate the other side, they would rape the woman, but that is not of a religious teaching. This is barbarism. The only religion, the only book that has that clearly recorded, that when you have when you subjugate a town or a village, you take the women and they are yours. You can have sexual relationship with them. All that made me leave Islam. Muhammad and his lifestyle also made me leave Islam. Muhammad, he himself, he invaded, he conquered people, he took the women, and he raped one of the women after he finished his war. At the end of the day, on his way home, he raped one of the women, he himself. That cannot be a good example for me to follow. That's why I left Islam. He slaughtered, he gave command to slaughter people. He assassinated people. He crucified people. He did all kind of atrocity. So this man, I cannot take him as an example for me to follow. Okay, so the life of Muhammad is filled with so much atrocity that's enough to make a person with even half brain in his head to discover that this person was not a prophet. Thank you very much. And if you want to stay on the subject and speak about any particular point for those who launch personal attack, no. If you have something to speak about, I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. We see you next week.